Hey everybody, it's your main man with the game plan, Corey Giovanni, and thank you for joining in on another Core Conversations. Today we have Nidra with Go Be Alive Honey, and this funny thing that I met her at the Taste of Soul, and I invited her on the platform so she can be able to talk to many audiences about what she does. Nidra, the floor is yours. Talk to us. Let the people know who you are.
Okay, thank you, Corey, once again for having me today. I so appreciate this opportunity. I am Nidra from Go Be Alive Raw Honey. I sell 5 delicious flavors. And how I got started selling honey, I just want to give you a little bit of background. So, when I was in college, I came down with what is called hypothyroidism. And one of the things that I was looking for, because one of the symptoms that you have with hypothyroidism is fatigue. And so what I was looking for was a natural energizer. And I met someone who was selling bee pollen. And bee pollen is considered a superfood. It acts as a multi vitamin. It has minerals, vitamins, over 40% digestible protein. And so when I started taking that, I noticed a difference in my energy levels. And I was like, I'm going to get the word out about this. I'm going to start telling my friends, my family. And so that's what I did. And they wanted to know how they could purchase it. And I thought to myself, I said, you know what? I'm going to start selling this. And so I started with the bee pollen.
Okay.
And I was then connected to a beekeeper through my cousin, and she told him what I was doing, and he said I would love to work with her. He actually had bee pollen, and so I was able to purchase my bee pollen from him. He saw how well I was doing selling the bee pollen, and he asked me if I wanted to start selling the honey. And so that's how I kind of got started with selling bee pollen and raw honey. I started off, again, just telling friends and family. And then he helped me get into farmers markets. So
Okay.
I was in 3 farmers markets for about 2 years. When the pandemic hit, of course, we had to come out of the markets. And when it was time to go back into the markets, I decided instead of going back into the markets, I was like, I want to start targeting stores.
Right.
Uh,
The
so
big guy.
Right. I want to
Yeah.
start getting into the bigger markets. And so that's what I did. I started with smaller stores. So right now I'm in 3 small stores. Well, actually, 2 small stores and 1 coffee shop.
Okay.
So
And
that's
what
where,
stores are those for the
so
people who would know?
yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So the first store I'm in is right there where we were at with Taste of Soul at the Baldwin Hills Crenshaw Mall.
All
There
right.
is a store in there called Afro-City Marketplace. It is a collaboration of 25 small, independent, Black owned businesses. And we are all collaborating together to help each other uh,
Okay.
recycle our Black dollars.
I love it. I love that.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
So that's the first store I'm in. And then the second one, which is the coffee shop, is coffee company, coffee, I'm sorry, House Coffee Company on Jefferson and La Brea. Uh,
Okay.
it's new, but they're up and coming.
All right.
And then the third store I'm in is a small grocery store in a small market in Hermosa Beach called Granny's Grocery.
Oh wow.
Yes, so I'm just
Nice.
trying to spread my locations, and so I can kind of be in the east and the west and the north and the south, just kind of be everywhere.
and
So,
that's and that's important because of the fact that um it's more so because a lot of people put sugar and all these what it's called artificial sweeteners and
yes,
things in their coffees and their teas. And I used to be one of those guys who did
yes,
that until I started looking at what the effects it has on people's body. And I even went to
Definitely.
as far as like I stopped doing that and started drinking honey in my coffee. And my wife used to think like that's crazy, but I'm like, no, because honey is supposedly, I guess,
It is.
natural sugars, right? But
Yes.
I I I stopped drinking coffee because coffee for me as a black male, it was giving me hypertension issues. However, I didn't stop honey. I started using honey in teas and
Yes.
little
Yes.
elixirs I would make, and I realized the importance of it. There's no crash. There's no crash with honey.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Because of all the natural sweeteners. So it's honey is medicinal.
Oh,
So all of honey has some medicinal things that it can do for you. So such as, okay, so I have my 5 flavors here. This is my sage.
okay.
My sage is a nice smooth honey, really good in your tea and your toast. This is actually my best seller here. People who try it, they love it. So this one, you're going to have your prebiotics, your probiotics, really good to help build your immune system. So this is the one you want to take, especially, now that we're going into the fall and winter seasons.
Yeah, the
Uh,
cold season.
yes. So this would be a good one for you. And then there's orange blossom. So orange blossom is going to have a lot of vitamin C in it, because these are the flowers, plants, trees that the beekeeper plants around the hives. So the bees go to those particular flowers, they pollinate those flowers, that tree or that plant, and bring back the honey to the hives. And that's
Okay.
how that's how honey is produced. So, and then that's how it becomes medicinal. Um, and then we have my wildflower. So, wildflower is the one closest to what you find in the store, that clover taste that we all are
Right.
familiar with. So, when
Yes.
people ask me, oh, I just want regular honey, this is the one that I usually recommend, because it's going to be closest to that clover taste that we have in the store. But this one is also the one you want to take during your seasonal allergy season. So those who suffer with allergies,
Right.
um, this is going to be the one, because of all the different flowers that it takes to actually uh, produce the wildflower honey. You're going to get more pollen, and so the honey, you're breathing in the pollen, and so this is the pollen that is going to help combat the pollen that you're breathing in.
Okay, so that's gonna be able to, because every like spring, May area, like the pollen is out, and me and my wife, we get headaches a lot. So that will be something really good for us to take in our coffees and teas, because of the fact that it would pretty much either block it or soften the blow. Right?
Exactly. Either one. Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Because, there's no guarantee, because everybody's body is so different, but
Right.
definitely will help and assist. I've had people take a spoonful and they like, okay, I feel so much better already. That's not
Wow.
that's not everyone's experience, of course, but I have had that happen. So,
Okay.
again, like you said, you could put it in your tea, you could put it on your toast, you can just in the mornings, take a teaspoon or a tablespoonful. And then later in the day, if you're starting to still feel uh, wheezy or teary eyed, then, go ahead and take another spoonful. Um, and it does help because of the pollen that's in the honey. And so that's
Right.
why they say take local honey, because you need the honey, that's the pollen that's around the your
The
environment,
area.
the
Yeah.
areas that you're in. And so that's why that's so important. And then
Now,
go ahead, I'm
oh,
sorry.
you have some. You have another flavor as well.
Yes.
Go ahead, go for it. Because I wanted
Okay.
to, after that, I want to talk to you about your history of the company.
Okay.
Yeah.
Real fast. So this is the avocado. Yes. And so everybody is always surprised. It's
Yeah.
a really dark, robust color, and it has a flavor of more of a molasses flavor.
Okay.
People are really surprised, but this is actually from an avocado tree that the bees pollinate.
Wow.
Yes, so it's actual avocado in here. Again, it tastes more like molasses, so it's good in your coffee. This is the one you would use in your coffee for sure.
Okay.
On your waffles, your pancakes. You can also bake with it. I make an avocado banana bread with it.
Oh,
Yes, you can glaze. If you're a salmon eater, you can glaze your salmon in it. You
yeah.
can make,
Like charcuterie boards usually would
yes,
be good for that. Okay.
yes,
Nice.
yeah. You can glaze your vegetables in it. You can also use this as a facial because avocado is very good for the skin.
Yeah.
So this would be something that would help uh, if you want to do a nice mask at night. That one would be a really great one. And then last but not least,
Okay.
I just got a new flavor. So I'm
Okay. Yeah,
excited.
I didn't see it on the pamphlet. I was like, she only
Oh,
has a
sorry.
few.
Yeah, I just got a new flavor. I'm so excited about this one. And it's the blueberry.
Ooh.
So I'm just trying this one out for the holidays, just to
Okay.
kind of see what people think and how it sells. But I love it. It has a great taste, and a lot of people love blueberries. So I wanted to try it and see what people thought, and we'll just kind of if it's a winner, then I'll continue to sell it.
Awesome. Awesome. So it seems like you pretty much covered most of the reasons why the honey exists. You know, you got it for one for you said that you were, thyroid issues, so you got it
Yes,
for that. Other and then you also went as far as going into the sinus slash pollen in area as well. And then avocado, everybody likes avocado. Whether it's get mashed up in guacamoles or it's cut up as in toast, avocado toast, whatever. It seems like you're hitting all corners in that per se consumer area. But
yeah.
give me some history about your company. Let me know like the when did it start for you? I mean, I know you said it was the pandemic, but like how long have you been around?
Yeah, so I actually started before the pandemic. I um, actually started in 2017.
Wow, almost 10
Yes,
years ago.
yeah, almost 10 years ago. And I'll just tell you a little bit about my career history. I actually was a social worker for about 26 years. And while I was working, I knew that I wanted to have my own business one day. I
No.
just didn't know what that would be or what it would look like. But I was searching and I was looking for different things. And so I was able, like I told you the story, that's kind of how the whole honey business came about for me. And as of last year, I am now full time in my honey business. And so,
Bravo.
thank you. And
Yes.
so, it has been a step of faith for me. And, I'm just believing God as I go. But it's exciting. And, um, you know, I'm just looking forward to what's to come out of this. Again, I started in 2017 and have just been, initially because I was working full time, I was having to do it part time. And
Okay.
so it hasn't gotten to the level that I want it to be at yet because I'm still growing. But
Right,
now
right, right.
that I'm full time in this, oh, it's about to be on. It's about to
Right
be
on, right
on.
on. Man, don't forget not because as a full time and solopreneur is what I call myself because of the
Okay.
fact that I also do businesses in the do business for myself. It I have to keep in mind my why, right?
Yeah.
Because of the fact that even though some customers may not come, customers may back out, deals fall through, I have to keep positioning my why in front of everything. You said
Sure.
something real key. You know what I'm saying? You trust in God. And
Yeah.
sometimes when you're trusting God, it's like Peter when he got out that boat. He got to keep his eye on him, because
Yeah.
if he move his eyes, and then he start looking around him, he'll start getting distracted by the things that's not happening and not realize he's in a miracle in himself and start
Yeah.
drowning. Right? And you are, you stepping out of that boat. You're getting away from the traditional system, and that brings, what I'm saying, a lot of trust. But with that trust, you're leaving a legacy behind. So
Yes.
whenever your little ones or your family members or friends want them like, hey, I want to do something different, you can be able to show proof of concept. You should start your own. And I think every business that you've worked in catapults you to say, you know what, I understand the system that they're in, and I want to do something different. And you can take those skills, those same skills, because as a social worker, I know you have to be organized. You have to
Yeah.
plan your day. You have to
Yes.
meet people. You have to
Yeah.
be able to build relationships. Those things are the same things you do in business.
Yes.
And you have to
Yeah.
network. You know what I'm saying? And you have to keep up with the constant trainings. You got to keep up with the learnings, because
Yeah.
of the fact that as a as a business, you have to always be ahead. Like AI is in the pipeline right now, and some people are afraid of it. I embrace it because I understand that AI is an employee of mine,
Yes.
instead of saying like it's a competition of mine. It's an employee of mine,
Yes.
and that's awesome that you're doing that. And I guess that's part of your why, or if you can elaborate a little bit more of your why.
Yeah, exactly. So a part of my why, like you said, is being able to sow into the next generation. I believe in generational wealth. And even though I don't have children myself, I do plan to be able to leave my family a legacy of some sort. Because like you said, scripturally, we're to leave wealth to our children's children. And
Yeah,
so I want to be able to leave my family that legacy as well. And one of the things I didn't mention earlier that I want to add is, as I got involved in selling the honey, my great aunt, who is 96 years old, shared with me that my great great grandfather was a beekeeper.
wow,
And that, yes. And so, and that he gave away honey as a labor of love. And so I said, oh my goodness, this makes sense to me now. Why I came into this, why I had a passion for it, and I just believe that the seeds were sown before me, and now I'm reaping the harvest of it, and will continue to sow seeds for the next generation. And
that's amazing.
yeah, so that just excited me. Like, I was like, what? Like,
Yeah,
and then his name was Moses, and so I was like, oh my goodness.
wow,
Yes,
wow,
yes.
that's
So
amazing.
I was just like, wow, that's so awesome. Like, that just made me feel better on a whole nother level. So that, that generational wealth. My other why is being able to have independence and freedom. You know, I sold into other people's businesses for over 26 years. And like you said, I was really fortunate, because I did see what it took to do a business. And I watched, especially my first employer, I watched how they were the first people to be there in the morning, and they were the last people to leave at night. And so I saw what it was to build a business, and I was able to take those concepts and the passion that I saw that they had, and be able to implement into my own business. And then my third reason, my third why is, again, just being able to give back. I worked in foster care for 26 years as a social worker, and I've seen what our children have gone through. Um, I always say that, people ask me, what was it like being a social worker? And I tell them, I say, it was it was challenging yet rewarding,
Hmm.
because to see, children go through that neglect and abuse was very challenging.
Yeah.
But once I saw them in certain homes and they blossomed and bloomed, and I saw a different side of them, that's what where the reward came in at. And so part of my proceeds go back to foster care. So
Amazing.
every time you purchase a bottle of honey, I'm giving back to the foster care system. And so those are my whys.
And though, and you know what, that's very much appreciative because of the fact that you're continuing a tradition that you just found out about. Your did you say great grandfather was, he gave away honey as a labor of love as a beekeeper,
Yes,
and you're giving, I'm saying, support to
yes,
foster care from the work that you're doing as a beekeeper,
yes,
right? So
yes,
that's amazing. As that's something that's amazing. But not just a beekeeper, but you're also a business owner. You're also a black woman of color, you know what I'm saying, working in the city that, you know what I'm saying, that you're in and
yes,
able to give back. So the camera's not just on the work you do, but it's on you because of the fact that there's people like you that need to see that.
yes,
They need to see that, hey, I can own a business and it's possible, and
yes,
I'm able to give back.
yes,
So
yes,
wrapping up, this is what I want to ask you. I have two questions. The first one is what's next for Go Be Alive, honey?
yes. So, again, I'm right now just working to get into more stores and bigger stores. My goal is to one day be in Whole Foods, Sprouts, Walmart, also um, on Amazon. Uh, and so yeah, so those are my next accomplishments. I'm also going to be starting a breakfast called uh, Breakfast Before Business.
Wow.
And it's going to be, like you said, to help other entrepreneurs, uh, because we all have things to help each other. And there's no one that has done this by themselves.
Nope.
It's like when the
It
Bible
truly
talks
take a
about
village.
how
It truly take a village.
the village, and
Yeah.
when the Bible says, we have a great cloud of witnesses, um, you know, it takes a village. It takes us all to be able to help each other. And so I want to be able to do that next as well.
Awesome. And so the last question is, what what does Go Be Alive honey looks like once you've completed your mission and you're gone?
Again, I'm praying, my prayer is that I leave a legacy, um, that people be able to see my family and those around me be able to see, um, one, the hard work that it took to accomplish such a thing. And then two, that it's possible that, those who have a dream, a vision, a purpose, because we all have purpose. We were all created for something. God put something in each and every one of us. And, you know, our goal is to find out what that is.
Yeah.
And, for some of us, we know right away. Others, it takes a while. It's a process, it's a journey. Like I said, I first started off as a therapist, and then I went into social work, and now I'm, doing the honey. And so, you can evolve over time. You might start off, doing one thing, and then because we do have so many different gifts and talents and things on the inside of us, there may be different things that have a passion for. But my prayer is that I inspire and that I encourage our brothers and sisters to be able to reach for their dream no matter what, because it's all possible. If you got God on your side, there's nothing that you can't do or reach. So I'm
Amen.
looking forward to that.
Amen. So in wrapping up, I want to say thank you, Nidra, for joining
Thank
this
you,
call
Corey.
with Core Conversations. And this is your main man with the game plan, Corey Giovanni, telling you that make sure you go check out those locations in
Yes.
Nidra where you can find Go Be Alive Honey from Nidra. And y'all take it easy. Thank you again, Nidra. And that concludes this episode. Peace.
Okay, Corey.
You're welcome.